product. Let's drop a helicopter and use something else. This is from one of our French customers, SEU Group. If you've heard of the brands Moulinet and Krups and Tefal, that's all down to those guys. So this is a Tefal deep fryer. And the component we're going to design here, this wire lift guide, it really lends itself to this new ST7 functionality of 3D Sketch. So it's another in context design. We'll model this top down. So we'll go in and start this creation. So to get access to these 3D Sketch tools, there's a new tab, as you can see, in the top toolbar. And you've got a whole bunch of sketching tools, all related and specific for 3D sketches. So let's start doing some work here. We'll snap it onto the central cylinder, pull it out from there. Again, you're seeing these, I can see them on my screen, you can just about see them on the projector. Nice sketch feedback as you're relating into, in that case, concentric to the cylinder. It's a bit very clear what's going on. You'll also see the on-screen dimensions for the sketches. You saw this in 2D sketches. This is exactly the same in 3D sketches too, so across the board. And you'll also notice there, Mark just dragged down this other triad. It's the 3D sketch triad, and it helps you in controlling which direction you're sketching. Obviously you have full flexibility because now we're in 3D. So we can lock down into those different axes. You'll see the X, Y and Z, some will disappear as we can toggle through. So you're just toggling through on your keyboard which direction you want. When it comes to sketching something like an arc, in this case, it wouldn't make sense to lock onto an axis, so we can lock onto a plane. So you'll see a green plane here come up. Again, you can toggle that and lock through where you need it to be. Alright, so we're just going to model one side of this. It's a symmetrical part, so we'll do one as a solid and then we'll mirror it across onto the other side, so we'll just finish this off. And something I do want to, actually another point to make is the sketch relationships that you're familiar with in 2D, they of course work in 3D as well, so if you need to line any of the sketch items up, you can do. We can put in our 3D sketch fillets, so if we need to round off those corners in 3D, we can do that too. So we'll make use of those and select those round. Yeah, and the sketch relationships, yeah, so we can snap those up to the reverse or the brackets behind it. We'll just finish off doing this sketch work, and we'll continue. Pop in another sketch fillet at the top. Alright, looking alright? Okay, so something down the bottom right here that Mark just used is this new quick view cube to move your view around your model so you can quickly navigate what you're looking at. It's very intuitive to use, doesn't really need much explanation, but it is something that's very obvious in the ST7 user interface. So you've got top, right, front. You just click on the faces, it'll rotate the model around so it's very clear to see what's going on. If you click the corners, you can get round into different isometric views of the model. And also you notice there's these little arrows, they'll go around in 90-degree increments, so you can rotate the model around and very clearly manipulate what you're doing. Great for 3D sketching, because of course we can be modelling in all different directions, so it's very clear for us in which direction we're going in. But it is always there in any environment, apart from 2D of course. Alright, so let's continue. So that little cylinder, why do we have that there? Well, it's the inside face of the little handle at the top, so we needed to take a measurement of that. We're going to sweep a profile around this 3D sketch path, so use the 3D measure tool to take a measurement. And then we'll pop a plane on the side here to do our sketching. Also notice in ST7 the names of the planes coming up, so it's very clear to see what you're working on. And then here we will sketch our circle at the right diameter. Again, we can use the on-screen dimensions that you saw previously, makes it nice and quick. And we will sweep that profile along the 3D sketch path. So synchronous, of course, comes into play here if we want to make any geometry changes. So we'll sort of mirror across to the other side first. But that underlying 3D sketch that we had, if we needed to make edits post-creation, we don't need to think about going back to that 3D sketch. We can just use the synchronous edits if we wish. Maybe if we wanted to grab that lift guide and move it into the clamp, I think there's a real clamp that we need to snap it up to. We could use the steering wheel. Or, yeah, if we wanted to, that's alright. No, this doesn't feel like it was shut down. Yeah, so you can just fan select all of those spaces, or the ones that we want to use. And here, remember, for those who don't use synchronous, that steering wheel, the reason we call it the steering wheel, it is your main control. So if you wanted to adjust this and snap it into that bracket on the back, we could make a movement of the steering wheel half of the diameter of that profile of the sweep. So remember, you can type in equations before in that steering wheel to allow it to move in the right position. And then we can move the geometry. In this case, that means we're going to get it right onto that bracket at the back. Alright, so let's take a look at how this whole thing is working. Could you maybe take a look at the mechanism? Maybe grab a bit of the mechanism and see how it's working? And maybe grab the handle and see what it looks like. We do that. Yeah. Woo! That was nice. Okay, looking cool. Alright. I think that was pretty cool. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Well done.